To be 2 capital G here, got an excellent dueling book duel for you guys to check out. Going to be nothing but stellar play from the player at the bottom who is using Nekroz. Nekroz got a bunch of feature matches at the European Championship. As far as I could tell, they were not able to cash those matches in with victories, but still a deck that you can't sleep on because of the incantations and all the power. Nekroz is going to be facing off against an ABC Orcus build. Doesn't look like ABC, but it will be ABC when he searches that Union Hanger. I believe he's going to activate it, search for B-Buster Drake, and then go for the Sky Striker cards before he obviously normal summons. So that's pretty smart. Obviously, when you don't lead with the Sky Striker cards, it's my opinion that you basically tip your hand. You tell your opponent, hey, I'm playing Orcus. So if your opponent maybe had a hand trap for the Kagari, they're not going to use it because they just know you're trying to get 2 monsters to go into Orcus combo. So he summons B. He's going to go for Tsuchinoko. Ends up discarding the Orcus monster, which is definitely going to be helpful for him. And he's going to get the Tsuchinoko on board, get a draw. He says, Cap, forget about the Nightmare plays, baby. I'm going straight for Saryuja Skull Dread. Now, he was smart here using the A and the B in the chain links because now he can't be hit with things like Ghost Ogre or Ash Blossom. He basically chain block those cards right out of the equation. You can see that he has Called by the Grave, making sure that he can stop any other viable hand traps. And he says at this point, Cap, now I'm ready to go into the Nightmare plays. Gets rid of the B-Buster Drake in his hand. He don't even need that anymore. And now he's bringing out the Orchestrated Nightmare. Fair enough. He is going to summon Buster Drake before he starts using his Orcus monsters because he doesn't want to be locked in the Dark Attribute and then not be able to summon ABC Dragon Buster. So he needs to summon that first. And he is going to go for the Galatea, activate her effect, get himself an Orchestrated Babel. No reason to even keep the Union Hanger. It's already served its purpose. Why not turn your Orcus monsters into quick effects? So that definitely makes a lot of sense. Now he is going to go ahead and summon the copy of Rusty Bardiche, and this was the perfect time to throw down that Gamma. He wouldn't have been able to use it against the Saryuja because he was chain blocked. Using it at any other point, I'm not sure would have made the biggest impact, but now his opponent has fully committed to the Orcus board and he can slap him with that Gamma. No double Fog Blade for you. Not bad, not bad. Anyways, because it's Orcus, he can still recover, making a copy of Dengirsu, getting it equipped, having protection for his field, and setting his Called by the Grave. Now, the Nekroz player did pick up a Called by the Grave himself, so it's not bad. It's not bad. He does have a way of pushing through hand traps himself. He's going to pick up Shurit, and watch the crazy chain that's going to happen. Activates the Incantation Candle, probably going to get Talismandra from his deck, which he does, picking up a copy of Trishula in the process off the Talismandra. Not bad, not bad. He is going to attempt the Ritual Summon, and this is where the madness is going to happen. So I gotta slow down a little bit. He's gonna go Chain Link 1 Trishula and then Chain Link 2 Shurit. So now he's the one doing the chain blocking. He says, if this guy plays Ghost Ogre, I better chain block against it. Also, there could just be other cards like Solemn Strike that I don't want to deal with. So yeah, he's now the one doing the chain blocking here. Now his opponent says, look, I'm gonna go Chain Link 3 Called by the Grave, and then Chain Link 4 Buster Dragon discard, Chain Link 5 Buster Dragon tag out, and he says, parry this, you filthy casual. I'll activate my Called by the Grave as Chain Link 6. Oh my goodness. That was just obliteration, man. I really thought when he did the double chain links being the ABC Buster Dragon or ABC Dragon Buster, I thought he was in really good shape because he'd be able to get rid of the Trishula as well as tag out his Dragon Buster. Thus, he would be able to just fill his monster or his field back up with monsters. But he says, nope, shutting him down with the Called by the Grave. This means that Buster Drake's summon effect will not happen and its discard effect will not happen either. So he basically just goes neg 1 and loses a card out of his hand for no value, as well as the Trishula is still going to resolve. So he's going to lose that Gamma Seal in his hand. He's going to lose a card in his graveyard, and he's probably going to lose his Dengirsu or maybe his copy of Babel. So yeah, he's losing everything here, and he probably is going to take a direct attack to the face, which he does. It's a shame that can't really do anything with the incantation monsters. His opponent does say, that's fine, Cap. Name phase 2, I'll just use Galatea. I'll go ahead and get my Crescendo, and play will continue on. Gets a copy of World Legacy Succession. Not exactly like the greatest card to top deck. I believe he is just going to go for Dengirsu. get a decent sized beater and start attacking those incantation monsters. It's not terrible. He's going to have his Dingirsu attacked. His opponent is going to get Nekroz or Brionic. Actually, that's a Chet. He can't get that yet. He has to summon an incantation monster from the deck, and then he can get that. So it's fine though. You know, he's going to just ultimately get there. He is going to get he is going to ultimately end on Nekroz Mirror. I thought maybe he would just Trish him again, because he does have the 9 stars with the Brionic and the Colossus in his graveyard, so he could potentially drop Trishula here. And keep in mind, Crescendo is not live. He does not have an Orcus Link monster, so I thought that play was on the table. Looks like he didn't want to go for that. He's going to have Dingirsu attack into Trishula, and then he's going to summon his copy of Galatea back. I think he did that so he could turn on his orchestrated Crescendo. Now this is going to be a spicy draw. Look what he drew. He drew a copy of Psychic Fill Zone, and I've never seen anybody run this in Nekroz before, but I guess technically in this situation, this is an incredible draw, because think about it. He has his 2 copies, he has his 2 Cyframe monsters, both banished. If he activated the Fill Zone, he'd summon them both back. He would be able to then go into a Cyframe Lord Omega basically for free. Or no, wait, actually, no, that doesn't work. He'd have to get rid of the Talismantra. Maybe he's just baiting his opponent here because yeah, just realize he won't be able to go for that extra deck monster. Or do incantations, I think incantations stop you from summoning from the extra deck completely, but his opponent is going to take the bait. I guess he didn't realize that, so he throws it out. That's going to get eaten up by the Crescendo, and that was actually good for him because now he can just ritual summon. He says, you fell for the bait. I wasn't even going to be able to summon Omega anyways, and now he's able to drop that second Trishula on his head. I didn't even think about that. I was so sure that he was going to summon an Omega, and that hitting the Psychic Fill Zone was a good hit, but yeah, he was not going to be able to do that because he has the incantation monster on the field. So I think his opponent totally forgot about that. He's now thinking about what he wants to do. By the way, this is actually a cheat. He's going to activate Crescendo's search effect, but he already used Crescendo to negate Psychic Fill Zone. You cannot activate both effects in the same turn. It's a hard once per turn on either effect. So yeah, this is actually a low-key cheat. It's honestly not going to change the duel because at the end of the day, his ass is still getting Trishula'd. He's going to take out the Orcus monster in his hand. He's going to lose his entire board. Neither monster can stand up because he doesn't have any more materials on the copy of Dingirsu, and ultimately his opponent just ends up scooping it up because he has a bunch of cards that don't really work together. And this World Legacy Succession, that was not the goods, as people would say. This card basically just sat in his hand from the time he drew it to the time that he conceded in the duel. Very unfortunate that he totally forgot about the incantations, because that could have potentially changed the duel. But sometimes you gotta, remember what your opponent's cards do and then be the breaks. Anyways, thank you guys for watching. As always, subscribe if you have not already and turn on that notification bell for daily videos.